There's a stage in business where more content, more ads, and more hustle just isn't the answer. It's not that you're not doing enough, and it's not that your strategy has even hit a wall. In this episode, I want to walk you through 5 signs that we often uncover in our digital marketing strategy diagnostics. And one of them, I think, is silently really choking revenue in a lot of companies and stalling most of your momentum, if in fact you've hit a wall. And I'll show you exactly how we help companies just like yours fix them. Welcome back to Mindshift. This is Daryl Evans. Sign number 1 that we hear from a lot of our established businesses is that they're spending a lot of money in marketing, but they can't really see the ROI. And I hear this so often now for the last 15 years, and they'll talk to me about their ad budgets. They'll talk to me about the agencies that they've worked with. They'll talk to me about their teams. They'll talk to me about how much content they produce. And yet they'll tell me there's been no real visible compounded return on the output. And so the thing that we talk about in our agency on a regular basis is output does not equal outcomes. Just like information doesn't equal transformation. And what's interesting when we think about growth in marketing today is that all of the platforms, whether it's Meta or Google or any software platform, they all come with good knowledge-based tools. And unfortunately, you can hire people, teams internally, outside agencies, freelancers, consultants, and everybody can read the knowledge base and figure out how to set something up or how to publish something or how to operate in HubSpot. But what's really interesting is all of these outputs don't seem to be leading to outcomes. And that's a real interesting sign. If you're getting a lot of things done, we published 22 blog posts last month, or we did 13 social media posts last week, or we cut this many these many video reels. Shout out to my man, Zach Barnes on the other side of the camera. Or we published, this, that, and the other thing on our website, but there's no outcomes. It can really be deflating. One of our clients was spending about $20,000 a month in their sort of acquisition funnel, and not even realizing that in the middle of their entire process was not one completely linked strategic background to their strategy. And of course, we help fix that. Sign number 2. Sign number 2 is what we call the invisible in plain sight problem. And that means your brand is invisible to the right people. So many times we find that you're active on social media, you're active on Google, you're active in running ads, but really the right people are not finding your business. Your competitors are always seeming to be out positioning you. They are perhaps in some cases even less qualified. I remember one CEO told us that they had far many more reviews, they've been in business longer, but this other competitor who was newer to the game, less prominent, was actually outdoing them online. And so what we find is that if you don't have a real system, then you are the system, and you're also gonna find yourself stuck without a clear, compelling, complete roadmap. Sign number 3. Your website is done, it's pretty, it looks great, but people that are coming to it aren't converting on it, and you exactly don't know why. We spend a lot of time looking at really great websites that people spend a lot of money on, sometimes 6 figures, on building their website because of all of the creative and the words and the copy and all of the time that went in. But it's not generating leads. The other thing is they don't even have a CRM tied to the website so that they can actually see what's actually happening. We always say that a website without data is nothing more than a digital brochure. And so many people are either going the super simple route or they're going super luxurious, but they're missing the data layer in the middle where it connects all the behavior. You don't have a system where when a visitor touches your website and then they opt in on your website, you can see exactly what source they came from, exactly what page they landed on, exactly what form they clicked on, exactly what information they put in, and then what other subsequent pages they looked at or read or downloaded, and then how they're opening your emails, and then, oh, did they interact with this ad on Facebook? I know I'm getting complicated here, but this is the data layer that most people are missing. Sign number 4 is that you have this whole database of old leads that haven't been reactivated, right? So often you do all of this work to generate a bunch of leads, and they're sitting in your CRM, they're sitting in your email provider, they're sitting in your sales team's bucket, and somewhere along the way, everybody got tired of following up. Everybody got tired when they said, oh, I'm not ready to buy today. So the sales team discounted them as a non-buyer or a bad lead and told marketing, oh, we need better leads. Well, the reality is everybody's not ready to buy today. And the fact is, you probably know that, but we are getting lazy. And what we do a lot of times is come in and help turn these cold leads into reactive databases through some of our AI-powered sequences. So before we start chasing new traffic, a lot of times what we do is go back and maximize what we've already paid for. Sign number 5 is that you are missing, most cases, a holistic, smart, AI-powered today strategic system, right? So often one of the biggest things we find is just a bunch of fragmentation, right? Fragmented people, fragmented tools, fragmented agencies, and nobody's really working collectively. In fact, what we find in most cases is one person or another in those scenarios are pointing the finger at the other person who's not getting the job done. It's a rule we made many years ago in our agency that there are certain things in our working relationship with our client that we will not be siloed off into Google Ads while they have another company doing their Facebook ads, while they have another company, doing their content. Like, all of those pieces have to work together. And so we have a very strategic model where we will bring all of those things into one place so that it's all working congruent and consistent, and it's working in conjunction with the sales team. Most of the established businesses we work with have sales teams, and to do marketing over here and have sales over here so that there's no connection and alignment is just a recipe for disaster. So these 5 signs are just a few of some of the signs that we work on with our clients in our digital growth diagnostic and assessment process, which, by the way, is not a sales call. People, when they sign up for it, they think, oh, is this just going to be a disguised sales pitch? Or are you just going to hype me up and tell me all the things that are broken in my business so you can sell me your solution? And that is not what this is. Like, we are not a business that wants a lot of friction in our conversations, because we choose our clients just like you choose your partners. And so this is a mutual conversation. But what we do in this diagnostic assessment is we really understand what's being left on the table. We really understand how to show you what is the stuck point, how to find the unlock, how to find the gap, how to find the missing piece so that we can help you accelerate your growth. We also point out exactly what levers to pull going forward. Sometimes there are a couple of tweaks that need, sometimes there are holistic revisions to your plan. But from there, we can either decide if you want us to build that growth engine and be your partner, or if perhaps you've already got a team and they just need strategic guidance, strategic support, or some consulting, then maybe the path for your team is to join our inner circle and be a part of getting that guidance from other growth-minded leaders who are sitting in the room a couple of times a month with our inner circle. So either way, when we finish these growth assessments and these diagnostics, you leave with a couple of things. You leave with clarity, you know where to start, and you know exactly what the plan would look like over the next 90 to 120, 180 days if you were to decide to partner with us and we decided to partner with you. So one example is we worked with a client doing just around $2 million in revenue not long ago. Great product, marketing team was in place, but their lead gen system had hit a bit of a roadblock. And when we dug into it, it was kind of a little bit of haphazard. It was kind of just a lot of output, not a lot of strategy and structure in place. And what we do with our growth sprint is we came in and helped them within the first 90 days. We helped them restructure and rebuild their funnel around, most of it was client messaging, buyer persona alignment, and tying it to the buyer psychology of 2025, which is where we are right now, versus the buyer psychology they had from 2016-17. And we really helped them increase their initial conversion rates by about 35%. And that's the power of subtle, significant shifts. And so when you think about these 5 signs, there could be many, many more. But if this sounds like some of the things that you've been feeling as of late as it relates to your growth marketing, but you haven't put your finger on it just yet, then I think it's time for a strategic reset, a strategic audit, a growth assessment. And we're happy to do that for you at absolutely no cost. All you need to do is head over to mindshiftdigital.co/plan. That's mindshiftdigital.co/plan and request your complimentary diagnostic. So you also might be the person who's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go that far just yet, but I would like to learn more about being inside of this room where you talk about growth with other growth-minded leaders. That's called our inner circle. So if you'd like to check that out, there's going to be a link down below, or you can head over to mindshiftinnercircle.com. And either way, with what's going on right now, don't ignore the signs that are staring you right in the face. Something's wrong, you know it, you're losing sleep at night about it, but I would like to offer you that there's a way to get it fixed. And it's going to be a way to think about shifting your mind so you can shift your results. Let's start with that shift today. Head over to mindshiftdigital.co/plan or head over to mindshiftInnerCircle.com, and I'll see you next time.